Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and with this special video showcase we are again of course returning to the fan home build your own Optimus Prime figure. That's right guys, by the time we've finished all of these stages we're going to have something looking exactly like that. This is where we're on to the shoulder part at the moment. This is stage 43. Before we get cracking with the parts, let's have a quick look at the magazine. So as always, there's movie trivia and information at the front. Then what we tend to have is, looks like we're moving up to Armada. We've got Prime's Armada, which you can see there. So a big special featurette on that. Unicron Trilogies. Then a special feature on the Stunticons, including Menasor. And then, of course, oh no, it looks like we're at the very tail end of Generation 1. In fact, we are, because that was the last figure ever released as a Generation 1 figure. So yeah, Operation Combination in Japan. There's God City and Battle Gaia, and there of course are the Turbo Masters and the Predators as they were known in Europe. And funnily enough, that's the reissues, that's not even the original editions of them figures. If you want to see the originals of them, I've actually got them, but they're on separate videos on here. We are moving on to the left shoulder. In fact, we're not moving on, we've got part of the left shoulder, we've got some parts in there, and it looks like we're going to be adding to the bit that we've already got. If you're new to the channel or new to this is the parts that we've already done. We've not attached them all yet, but these are the parts that we've all done. There is the videos on all these earlier on. So without further ado, let's get these parts open and start the build. Okay, so I've separated everything out of the bag, and this is where I've got to give you guys a bit of a warning and be a bit honest myself as well. Normally I'd just get on with this and crack on as normal, but there's a part here where it says that you need some glue. Now I tried to do it without the glue on the pretense or hope that I could come back later and glue it, but that is just not the case. So on this stage you will need to find some glue, and you can have a laugh at how primitive what I'm going to be doing with the glue in a second. So anyway, first and foremost, this part is metal. It is rock hard. Sorry, which you can hear there. The rest of the parts are plastic. They're all listed, you can see right there. So let's start off with this bit here. So what we're looking at, we need the orientation of these 4 notches at the top and all of that inside there. The reason for that is we're going to take this, which is a plastic piece. Now hopefully you can make out there's some grooves, and this should slot as you're about to see. Yep, it is this way around and slot down there nice and easy. Hopefully, yep, there you go, you definitely saw that. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. You can see that that's going to fit into there exactly like so, and let me just pop that in. And now this is where we did need to get some glue, so I'm going to balance that there, and what we've got is this particular part, and this is going to fit. Again, if I show you this, it will fit nice and flush into there. Now I did, as I say, try to do it without, and because it does hold, but you do come into problems later on. So what I've got, this will make you laugh, because I can't find anything, and typically anything anywhere near me hasn't got the bits I need. So I'm going to dab a teeny tiny little bit of this onto here like so, and then what I'm going to use, believe it or not, is yes, a little toothpick here to just spread it all around. I mean, talk about improv, because they didn't even have any small what's the word I'm after, paintbrushes in any of the sections in the at the supermarket right next to the gym. So I'm just going to hold that there for a second. In fact, what I'd better do, just in case it comes off, is just pause it for a couple of seconds till it holds. So yeah, that literally didn't take long at all. That is pretty much fixed onto there, or it's definitely holding in place. Here is the shoulder assembly from the previous issues, that's the word I'm after. Right, let me move this down here so you can see what we're doing, and let me just show you on here. So what we're looking at doing now is attaching the spring and then attaching that. So if I move this out of the way, there is the spring that is going to rest in there. Now I need to get a split washer like so, and I need to get this screw there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up before I get anywhere near it. So I'm going to get this on the screw, like so. Hopefully it's going to balance. I'm going to come in from this way with the screw ready, and I'm going to come over the top, and we've just got to line this up on top of there like so. I'm going to just put the screw hopefully stayed in there. It looks like it has. I'm going to apply a little bit of pressure to get this down and over. That is staying there. Hopefully now if I spun that around, yeah, you can see through there that it's just managed to hold for me. So that's now being tightened up. Let me just push that split washer. In fact, let me just undo this a tiny bit, put the split washer right underneath it. I don't know if I definitely need to do this, but I just want to. I hope you understand, just to make sure that it's there. Right, that's gone in, and now this, yeah, there you go. There's the shoulder, and that's looking like it's inside there. There we go. So let me just get that right. Perfect. So that's that done. I need to get the book back. Let me see where we're at, because now it's nice and simple, and I am going to glue these bits a bit later, because I know, because I did a bit of a practice before, as I say, that I can get away with just doing this like so. So there's these two notches there. There's these two cutouts on the top of that. That's reflecting awful. I do apologize. That is going to fit on top of there like so, he says. Come on, I did this with zero glue and no effort a minute ago. Maybe I've got it the wrong way around. I think I probably have. Yes, there you go. That's fit on there like so, and it does say to glue that, but it says to screw the next part. So what it's telling us to screw is this particular bit here. Let me just take this out of the way. This is going to go onto, now there's only one place for it to go, which is great, because you can see it is on top of that there. There it is. That's going to fit onto there. Let me just balance this up and get it attached for you so you can see. So yeah, what I'm trying to show you, I've took it off to make it easier, is there's a little lip on the inside of there. There's a little notch on the inside of there. So that is going to fit over like so. It will only go on one way. It will move. You've got a teeny bit of play with it until you get the screw in. So let's pop the screw into the top like so. And once we've got that in, that is going to complete this particular stage. So again, we're onto just the aesthetic-y parts, but we can clearly tell that this is going to be, let me make sure that's right. It looks like it's going over there, and that is now in nice and tight. So that's where we're up to with the shoulder. Let's move on to stage 44.